What's going on, guys? Voodoo here. I am just doing a PC update video to basically let you guys know that the PC is done. As you can see, here it is. This is the PC running. As you can see, it's sitting on my floor right now. Down on my knees to show you. This is my monitor. I'm actually downloading Witcher 2. Assassin of Kings Enhanced Edition. It was on sale on Steam for I think $4, something like that, and I got a $20 card for my birthday from my friend, and yeah, I basically got I got $20 from him, and I'm like, what? Just browsing through games to buy, and I see Witcher 2 for freaking $3.99, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. So I got Witcher 2. I'll take you for a better look at the computer, sort of the side of it. You won't be able to see too much in there. It's pretty dark, and it's reflective, but as you can see, that's the red LED fan in the back. All my components are in there nicely. Like I said, you probably can't see too much. This cooler right here, this is the aftermarket CPU cooler, is kind of blocking the red light from the fan from getting through the whole inside, so you can't really see too much. And I don't have a good, hold on, maybe the flashlight on my phone might illuminate this. Let us see. No, I don't want to text, you stupid iPhone. I want to get the flashlight. Might be a little hard to see because it's going to reflect, but these are all my components. My video card there, the power supply. Yes, it's different than what I said. I'll explain that in a minute why. See the Dragon on the motherboard there, the RAM, which is up there. Aftermarket CPU cooler, which comes to basically the edge of the case. Alright, so that's the inside of it, nice and clean except for the CPU power cable, because this case did not give you a hole to route it behind the board. But everything else in there, the cabling looks pretty clean. So that's the computer. As you can see, I've put some stickers on it. I've got the MSI Gaming G Series for the motherboard on there, my G-Skills RAM, and my Intel i5, the 4670K. Look at the back here, got my keyboard plugged in, my antennas for Wi-Fi. So let me explain to you some things about this PC, alright? First of all, performance-wise, how is it? Well, I've run a couple games on it, alright? I actually have been running Portal 2 on it because I got the free Steam version with the PS3 version that I got, in 2011. It came with the Steam code, so I downloaded that. My friend Chris was also here the past couple days helping me build it and just hanging out, and he actually brought his copy of Crysis 1 over. Now, I ran Crysis 1. I put Crysis 1 on ultra high, meaning I put it on the ultimate setting, the highest graphical settings it could, and I put anti-aliasing on 8 times. And it ran. Frame rates were not an issue on that. It didn't drop frames at all. There was a little bit of screen tearing with the anti-aliasing on, but it wasn't really that bad. So that's the performance from Crysis 1. Portal 2 has run without a hitch. I just put it on high settings, not ultra, because when I tried to put it on ultra, it was giving me messages like, yeah, this will increase certain things, but it will reduce your overall graphical quality and all that. And I was like, well, I don't really want to do that, so I left everything on high. The game runs as smooth as silk, 60 frames or higher easily. The game looks absolutely beautiful, and this thing handles it no problem. Alright? As you can hear, or I guess not hear, the machine is extremely quiet. My ceiling fan right now is a lot louder than this. This is on silent mode, and you really can't hear it run at all. If I put it on turbo, it's still very quiet. You can hear it, it's ambient, but, really not loud at all, okay? So it's an extremely quiet machine. And it's running beautifully. Like, I'm not having any problems with this thing at all. Again, my graphics card is just a single GTX 760, and it's running everything beautifully, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy about the performance. This thing next week for Watch Dogs is going to handle it perfectly fine. I think it's going to be great. I already redeemed my code. It is not any kind of Ultimate Edition of the game. I don't know why they said it was a $90 value. It's just a normal $60 version. I activated it, and I will be able to play it when it becomes available next Tuesday on the Ubisoft PC client interface. Is what they're not through Steam, but through Ubisoft. So that's what's going to happen. Now, let's talk about what happened with this PC while we were building it and the power supply. All right, this is what happened. So it took me about 3 hours to actually assemble the PC last night. I started about 6 o'clock. The last two parts came in pretty late at around 5 p.m. from UPS. And then Chris and I actually ordered a pizza. So we waited till that got here. We ate it. And we started building around 6. And we finished it around 9 o'clock, maybe a little after. It actually took me 3 tries to get the CPU cooler on, just because it's really difficult to put on. It's not too self-explanatory, and it was just kind of a pain. So I had to try that 3 times, removing thermal paste, adding thermal paste, but it's okay, it's fine. Got it on there, perfectly fine. So we get everything plugged up, everything's looking good. Before we did cable management and all that, I said, well, let's go ahead and boot it up and see if we can, just make sure everything turns on, and make sure on the display it gives us a readout, that's saying that it can't find the boot disk or whatever, which is normal. That's what you do. You boot it up, and then hopefully on your display screen you see something like it can't find a boot drive. That means that everything's working, there's no errors, it just can't find an operating system to boot from because you don't have one yet. So we plugged everything in, plugged it into the wall, hit the power switch, nothing. Nothing happened at all. So we changed out the socket, hit it again, nothing. We went into the computer, I checked all my connections, I checked my power switch connector, I checked all that stuff, plugged it back in, hit the power switch, nothing. Completely dead. So you can probably guess my feelings at this point, right? Extreme just disappointment, sadness, frustration, fear, because you don't know what's wrong with it. You don't know which part is faulty or whatever. You don't know what the reason is. So scared. And it was like I said, it was too late to figure it out or go to the store or anything. So we thought that there was a good chance it was the power supply being out, but we didn't know. The power supply was actually damaged when we took it out of the box from shipping. One corner was kind of bent out, and it was the corner that the power cables were coming out of. So we thought that was the problem, but we didn't know. But it wouldn't start. So I had to go to bed with these feelings. When we woke up this morning, Chris and I went over to Best Buy, and we bought that power supply right there. This box right there. The Corsair CX750M. Which is a 750 watt power supply as opposed to the 500 watt I ordered. I was actually concerned about the 500 watt. I thought I did it a little, I estimated a little low. So I was glad that they had the 750. So we bought that. We said, let's buy this. Let's go plug it in. And if it works, then we know the power supply was out. We'll ship the broken one back, keep this one because it's a better power supply, and everything will be fine. If it doesn't fix the problem, we'll return this power supply to Best Buy because it's a lot easier to do that than to return the one I originally ordered, and then we'll have to take it to a repair place today and see if they can tell us what's wrong with it. So we got home with this power supply, unplugged the old one, plugged this one in, hit the power switch, and it booted up immediately. No problems at all. Huge relief, huge sigh of release. We were dancing, high-fiving because it worked. That was the problem. They sent me a bad power supply. So we hooked everything back up, hooked this power supply in, and never had a problem. It ran beautifully. We ran the cable management in the back, installed everything. It's fine, okay? No problems at all. The computer's great. So we're sending the broken one back and getting a refund, and come to find out, the power supply that was broken cost me $50. This power supply is normally $100, but it was on sale at Best Buy for $80. So in the end, I got a much better power supply. This is also a modular power supply, meaning that if it's a non-modular supply like the original one, all the power cables come pre-built into the supply. And oftentimes you'll have extra power cables that you don't use, but you have to keep them in the case and tie them up because there's nowhere, you can't take them out. This one means that you pick the cables that you get to plug in. So you only plug in the cables you need, so you don't have extra cables loose hanging around. That's what modular means. So I got a much better power supply, a modular one. It's only going to cost me 30 bucks more than the original power supply, which is broken and it's a piece of crap. So that's the deal. Now, I'm also running Windows 8. All right. I answered someone in the comments of the parts reveal video that I was going to be running Windows 7. That was my anticipation. Come to find out that free version of Windows that Dave had given me turned out to be a pirated copy. I did some research and learned it was pirated. And I said, well, I'm not putting any pirated software on my computer. All right. It's not Dave's fault. He got it from somebody else. He didn't know. He thought he was doing me a favor, which I appreciated. But I said, you know what? I'm not putting anything pirated on this. I don't want to spend the money for the OS, but I don't want it pirated. So I went to the stores, 2 different stores, Walmart and Best Buy, looking for Windows 7, and they didn't have it. All they had was Windows 8, which I have right here. All right, Windows 8.1 to be more precise, the newest version. And I asked them, and they said, we don't sell Windows 7 anymore. You can't buy Windows 7 in the store. And I knew I could go online and ordered it, but I said, you know, that's going to take another few days to come in. I might as well just go with the latest. Even though I don't like Windows 8, the interface sucks on it. Let's go ahead and do it. So I went ahead and bought Windows 8.1, just the regular version. And I installed the 64-bit version of Windows 8.1 on my system, and I'm slowly but surely learning how it works. And that's pretty much it. So that's the story on the PC. It's running really well. Like I said, I have a couple games here. I'm going to be using this gift card to buy a few games to test the PC out on. I already have Portal 2. I have a text now. And going to be playing on it. And maybe I'll do some, some filmed stuff just to see if it works and to show you guys. But outside of that, Watch Dogs next Tuesday will be the first release. I'm anticipating that the game will be, available sometime around midnight. I'll begin downloading it. It'll probably take overnight to install, and then the next day on the 27th release date, I'll be playing Watch Dogs. I have not yet gotten a chance to start Dark Souls 2, which I still have sitting over here. So I'm looking to start that maybe over the weekend, and see how much of it I play before Watch Dogs next week. But hopefully I can get some Dark Souls 2 done this weekend, and then Watch Dogs next week, and then we will basically just be alternating the 2 games for a good long while into the summer. I know Wolfenstein is out. I know people have said it's good, but I can only play so many games at once, and so it's going to be Dark Souls 2 sorry, not The Witcher. I'm looking at it, and Watch Dogs. And we're just going to be alternating those games till I beat them, and that's pretty much the deal. So that's the update on the PC. It's done. It's built. We went through a big scare there when it was dead, but it was just a bad power supply, and we actually turned out on the better end because we got a much better power supply that was on sale for 30 bucks, and no harm, no foul. We'll send the broken one back and get our money back, and that's it. So, all right, thank you guys for watching. This has been my PC update, and I'll see you guys later this weekend, hopefully with some Dark Souls 2. Peace out.